Hi, it's Mike Sherwood here again. Today I'm going to talk to you about fundraising and ways that you can support the railway. Basically, two ways that you could do this. You can give money directly to the company, or you can give money to one of the support charities. Ways that you can give money to the company, basically you can make a donation directly to their current appeal, or you can buy shares in the company. Now, just want to say something about shares. If you're minded to buy shares, if you want to buy shares, it's a great idea, but please buy a lot, at least £1,000 worth. My reason for saying that is that shares come at a cost to the company in terms of annual administration. You'll be aware that every shareholder has to receive the company's report and accounts, and if you buy a small parcel of shares, whereas it's perhaps immediately helpful, it eventually becomes less helpful because the admin cost goes on year after year after year after year. So, how are the other ways that you can support the railway? Well, you can make a donation to one of the charities. One of the benefits you get if you make a donation to the charity is, firstly, you get to decide what the charity is going to spend money on. You can contribute to any of the funds that we've got set up currently. We have a locomotive fund, we have a rail renewal fund. There are other specific funds that you could contribute to, or indeed you can ask the charity to set up a fund for something specific that you think is important, and if we can come to an agreement with you, then we can set that fund up. And the important thing about charity giving is, if money is placed into a restricted fund, then the charity can only use the money for the purpose that you've donated it for. The other great benefit, of course, of donating via a charity is that the charity can claim gift aid, and the gift aid effectively uplifts your donation, if you're a UK taxpayer, by 25%. In real terms, that means for every pound you give, the charity will receive £1.25, and £1.25 can therefore be ploughed into the railway. Okay, so what does a small donation to the railway do? Does it make any difference? Well, the donations we received last year enabled us to put £158,000 so far into rail renewal. It supported the return to traffic of locomotive 9351 for a further £30,000. Over the winter period, we put at least £30,000 into refurbishing the QB set, and around about a year ago, just over a year ago now, we were able to invest on your behalf £24,000 in the Bishopslade Yard locomotive loading point. Right, so in addition to those quite obvious things, the West Somerset Railway Association also invested £11,000 into the volunteer recruitment programme, which would have been up and running by now in other circumstances, and we were able to put a further £4,000 into volunteer training. Small projects that we were able to fund during the year probably accounted for a further £3,000. And so that brings a grand total to around about £250,000 invested in the railway by the association during the course of last year. Now, whereas the vast majority of that money actually came from the donations of generous individuals and the donations of association members, we started a new initiative which bore fruit, which was to look at external grant funding, and so far we've been able to bring in around about £100,000 by making applications for external grants. The grant funding market has approximately £2 billion of money in it in the UK, and there are all sorts of bodies, not just Heritage Lottery and people like that, who are able to give grants. And so that was one of the things that we wanted to tap into during last year, and I think for a first year we've done that reasonably successfully. So hopefully I've given you some insight into the various ways that you can donate, and hopefully that will enable you to make some decisions about how you're going to support the railway during this very difficult time. Now, I suppose, given the last video, I can't really just leave it there. So just to finish off, here's a shot of Roxy sunbathing in the garden.